Hey guys, can you hear us?
I think it works.
We solved the technical issues.
We may have solved the technical issues, have we?
Of course, and we have tested it 500 times before going live, but yeah, hopefully it's alright now.
Yeah, that's how it usually works. So please do refresh the stream, and it should be fine now.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Just waiting for... Működik. So, I'd like to welcome everyone, ladies and gentlemen of the Inquisition. This is... Once again, this is the State of the Game live stream that we are supposed to do weekly, but we're doing it bi-weekly for some very weird reason. But I'm David, I'm a PR and marketing manager here at Neocore Games, and the two fine gentlemen next to me is Megapool and Greg.
Hey guys.
Or Gergő, or Gergely, which I've said
and of course,
before, and I have no idea.
If you have any feedback on the audio quality, be sure to give us some feedback. The whole streaming PC was torn apart in the past couple of days, and that's why we had these mishaps. So hopefully it's alright.
Yeah, somebody else is using for our streamer PC for rendering as well, because this is pretty much the most powerful PC at Neocore, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends.
I guess so. Yeah, it depends.
It depends. Awesome video cards.
So, why are we here today?
Yeah, why are we here today? Tell us.
Now you're just asking back. That's not fair. I wanted you to talk. Yesterday night, we released our Alpha 2.0 patch, which is a huge milestone in the development of Inquisitor. And in celebration of the patch, we also released the trailer that you just saw when we started the stream as well. And we wanted to talk to you about the patch in detail, because there are some very important stuff that we included in it that you may have missed, or maybe you haven't played the game yet, so you don't know what's inside. And we wanted to highlight the most important parts of this patch. And also we have a couple of announcements that we wanted to make, but let's just wait until... Well, let's just wait until the end of the stream.
So basically today's stream will be just a shorter one, just hyping up you guys for the real deal, which will happen
tomorrow.
Will happen tomorrow.
Yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow. These guys will be back tomorrow.
Oh, you won't? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with some backup though, I think we can get someone to...
We'll have a special guest on tomorrow's stream. We're going to be streaming from 6 p.m. CET all the way to 9 p.m. CET, I suppose. Well, if we have some technical difficulties there and we don't have Mega, then we're probably going to shut down the stream anyways. We'll never know.
Also, we also going to talk today about Gamescom.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Actually, we should start with Gamescom. Let's start with Gamescom, because earlier this week we sent out a press release notifying the press that we will be attending Gamescom 2017 this year as well. And unlike last year, we will have a booth in the public area.
It will look like this.
Yeah. It will pretty much look like this, but it's going to be a lot bigger, and
with PCs,
and with a lot more PCs.
Hopefully with a huge crowd around.
Oh yeah, there are usually a huge crowd around.
What are you talking about? The crowd and the Gamescom?
2 years ago, our booth had the biggest crowd in the entire Gamescom at one day, so it was amazing. It was really
and it was because we had like an age restriction on it, and everyone said it's 18 plus. That must mean
everyone was flooding.
Everyone was flooding, so it was a lot of fun. But this year, we're gonna be bringing out an exclusive build that won't be available online just yet. So the people at Gamescom will be the first to try it out.
Yeah.
I mean, after us, we might be able to play it.
We will test it for like half an hour before putting it out on the Gamescom booth. So.
And by half an hour, you mean 3,000. But pretty much.
Yeah, Gamescom is in Cologne from the 20. When is the public?
The 20.
23rd.
No,
maybe.
The
23rd.
23rd is the first public day.
20th,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah, we're going down at the 20th, and then we've got one day to set up on Monday, and on Tuesday there's going to be the first business day when only the journalists and members of the press are allowed in. Then we're going to do our presentations in the business, but then on Wednesday, Gamescom going to open up its gates for everyone, and you can come in. You can find us in whole 8.1.
Yeah.
8.1, yeah.
8.1, I think.
8.1, but there's gonna be a blog post on our dev blog about this, about our whole presence.
Probably
and,
some tweets as well on
yeah,
Facebook. Maybe,
definitely.
I don't know, you know.
Yeah, so if you're around Cologne at that time and you want to meet some of the developers, want to try out the game, an exclusive build of the game, be sure to come to Gamescom and check our booth out. Yeah. Yeah, so
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, so
I love Gamescom. I know. Whenever we're going to Gamescom, it kills us. It basically kills us. It's like 5-6 days of well.
Our hostesses went to the hospital, basically.
Yeah.
After 2 days, one of the girls had to go to the hospital, and the next one followed after a couple more days. So
yeah, and there were 2 guys from Neocore who had to go to the hospital. One of them had an ear infection, and the other one actually almost had an eye surgery there. So it was crazy.
I only broke down on the 1,200 kilometer drive home. So
the best time to break down.
Yeah,
the best time to break down.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on to the patch.
To the content patch.
To the content patch.
And we are real proud because we somewhat were faithful to the roadmap.
Yeah.
Guys, so.
We wasn't expecting that when we actually announced it, but we are actually faithful to it.
Yeah, it's July and...
Yeah, it's July, and the July update is out.
It was released in July.
Yeah.
So,
I'm so proud of the guys. I'm so proud
what did we promise? So July 2017, better performance, new interface panels, check. Introducing tier system, check. Missions, check. Yeah, everyone. So I mean, let's just go in order.
Let's just go in order because there's going to be a very short stream if you're just going to go check, check.
Because we're so successful. That's why it would be such a short stream because we're so successful. We can just check everyone.
Yeah, check. Except for the audio of the stream.
Yeah,
for example, that's something that we didn't seem to care about. I'm sorry, I need to be very selfish because I want to start with my favorite part of the patch.
Which one is your favorite?
It's the loot screen.
Really? Oh.
I wanted the loot screen. Can we show them the loot screen?
Sure. So before showing them how cool the loot screen is.
All right.
We have to state that before this point in the game, there was no loot screen.
Yeah.
So,
there was no loot screen.
In an ARPG, having some sort of a loot screen or a reward screen where you can, take a look at what
there was, I guess. There was just like a little box, but it was, when in an ARPG when you get loot, you want to feel powerful. You want it to be spectacular, and I think we managed to do that.
Yeah,
because also I'm still not getting the loot that I want, but at least I'm getting it in style.
It's not just the loot screen. Also, it shows if you leveled up your character, how many experience points.
The next part.
Yeah, so basically this is the loot screen, and we're gonna show a couple more stuff, of course, but as you can see, it's much more satisfying to look at your stuff, your hard-earned stuff, basically.
Yep.
This way, because I don't know about you guys, but in ARPGs, I'm a huge loot whore. So
I'm a loot whore as well. I have to say, and not even just in ARPGs, to be honest.
Yeah. So and besides your loot, you can also get your detailed stats about the mission. What time did you finish it under? How many enemies did you purge? It's really cool stuff. Just to look at the statistics as well, besides the loot. And of course your materials as well. So it's a pretty cool way, and we are improving it constantly. In fact, we improved it like half an hour ago.
Oh yeah.
An update went out which fixed a bunch of things with the loot screen, and it has a hidden purpose as well. Because while you are looking at your loot, the game is loading. So your purpose stuff.
Actually, full disclosure, when we released the patch yesterday night, there was still a couple of minor bugs still left in the game, and we are almost fixed, to be fairly honest. Most of the things are already fixed, but the guys 2 rooms that way are still working on a fix to a couple of issues, and it's all gonna be patched today and tomorrow.
Yeah. So we are testing the game constantly, and also if you run into any bugs, be sure to
hit us up on Discord,
or
post on
any forum. Yeah.
But we are available on Discord 24/7. So if you message us there, it's the quickest way to get to us.
Well, he's available. I usually sleep.
Yeah, I just ban everyone who messages us. No, but seriously.
All right. let's move on to the tier system, which is also a very important part.
Yeah.
Basically, when you open the star map, you can see subsectors, and all the subsectors actually represent tiers. And even though we let you wander around the galaxy, go to each subsector, whichever you prefer, we are ready to teach you the hard way that probably you're not ready for a tier 2 subsector when you begin the game. You can go there and you can try it out, but you probably gonna get your ass kicked. And this tier system is finally, it's finally implemented in the game, and it shows on the HUD as well. But in the same time, it's not fully initialized yet. But it's in there, and we started tweaking it, and it gives another little depth of the game itself.
More grinding.
Basically,
more grinding. Yeah.
What a tier is it's sort of a difficulty bubble. So every subsector will represent a tier in Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. And for example, this is the Tenebrae subsector, and this is tier 1. And when you complete one tier, you get access to the next one. So this is how a progress is visualized by us. Yeah. And within one tier, you can get all sorts of improvements. So there's basic character level, of course. You can gain power levels as well, and account levels on the way. But at the end of the tier is where sort of end game happens. I shouldn't use that word because the game does not end per se, but the new item tier that just got introduced is relic items. Basically, these are godlike tier quality items, so the best items, and you can only achieve and obtain these items when you complete a tier. And of course the best materials and stuff, and this is just the most basic iteration of the tier system at the moment, because many more implementations will follow. Yeah.
But it still gives you a purpose to finish up a tier and max out your character. Now I think every character has been rolled back, right?
There was a character wipe, yes, because of the skill tree thingy.
Sorry for all the max geared.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Delete.
Thank you so much. I can finally.
We were showering in loot, basically.
I was actually. I finally got my purple rocket launcher, grenade launcher.
I still have my purple stuff because I downloaded it before we wiped the characters and gave them back to myself. But only I could do that.
And if you couldn't do that for us, could you? Because
You don't pay me enough.
Yeah, but you should. You're not even a good loot whore, to be honest. You just give it to yourself.
Loot whore,
yeah, you're a selfish loot whore, and that's the worst thing.
Check out all those purples, man.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
These are only your weapons because I don't meet the level requirement yet. So.
Oh right. I was.
Which is also a new thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's a brand new thing. Right? Most of the items have level requirements now. So guess what? You can't just equip like the best purple item on a level 1 character. So yeah, that's also a new improvement.
Gives a little bit depth.
But yeah, the real reason why we had to do this character wipe is because the complete revision of the skill system. Because we introduced brand new skill trees within the game.
And before we move forward, I need to thank our community because their feedback on the skill system has been invaluable.
Yeah, it's the best.
So we implemented we listened to everything that you just said about our skill system, and we implemented this to the new one. Yeah, and it doesn't just look better, and it just doesn't just look good.
It's much more useful.
It was a placeholder what we had before.
Basically, before yesterday's patch, every class had one skill tree. I mean, one giant skill tree, and within that skill tree, a couple of sub trees, so to say. But now it's much more refined, I think, because you have subclasses. You know, when you create a character, for example, when you create a Crusader, you can choose between Heavy Crusader, Melee Crusader, and so on. And there was no difference between these subclasses before. And now there are a bunch of differences. First of all, you get a completely different starting gear. For example, as a Heavy Crusader, you start with a shotgun and last pistol shield combo, I think.
Oh yeah.
And if you create a melee crusader, so obviously you have a different starting gear, and your starting skill trees are limited as well. So as you can see, for example, now I have the basic defense, area effect, and ranged combat skill tree available, along with the support skill tree, and the rest must be unlocked by me. And unlocking these skill trees is linked to heroic deeds. So basically you need to earn some achievements to be able to unlock these skill trees. As you can see, if I want to unlock my single DPS skill tree, you know, I need to kill 250 medium type enemies.
Yeah.
And then I will be able to put points into this stuff, which is pretty good. For example, one hit kills with single target skills grant 20% damage and 10% damage reduction bonus for 10 seconds. That's pretty OP, right? So you have to grind for these.
I really hope not.
In the good sense of the word.
Yeah, but in the same time, the new skill tree means that we're gonna need you guys to keep sending us your feedback, because some of the kills might be OP, some of the skills might not be powerful enough, or anything like that. So we're still working on a balance, and we still need your feedback on those stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna totally rebalance stuff if it's OP or weak or anything.
And speaking
like
of balance, there were a lot of balance changes in this update as well. In fact, so many that I'm just gonna go over the most important ones. First of all, weapon balance. Some weapons were too strong, some weapons were too weak, and this is still not perfect in any way, but much better than it was before. And of course, once again, thanks for your feedback, because we can play 2,000 hours with the game, we still won't be able to figure out the perfect balance, because we created those weapons and we don't feel, you know, what's too strong or what's too weak. So thanks for that. And the most major difficulty balance update is, I think, the modification of the difficulty curve of the game, because we made the game much more easier to fresh characters, and the curve is increasing gradually. So if you start as a fresh level 1 Inquisitor, you know, it won't be impossible to just fight against endless hordes and die every time. You know, you can ease yourself into the game, and when you gain like level 5 or something, it gets a bit harder, and then it gets more. So it's a real cool way for new players.
Level 1 is definitely a bit easier than before.
Yeah, actually a lot easier. I don't know if you remember the first iteration of the game when we launched it. The level of I started playing with my Crusader, level 1 Crusader, and I went into a purge mission.
Yeah.
And I got my ass handed to me like 5 times before I realized, okay, I need to use the cover system very, very carefully, and it took me like a half an hour to go through the first mission.
Yeah.
The first mission of the game, and we realized that it might be a little too much, and it might be a little too scary for the people who just introduce themselves to the game. So we reworked the whole balance, and it has a much forgiving curve, I would say.
Well, I wouldn't say our games will never be forgiving. So
no, never be.
And of course, we have a couple questions. And of course, guys, feel free to ask us, because today, I think the main purpose of the stream for us to be here is for us to answer your questions.
Answer your questions. So it's also a little bit Q&A.
And to thank you
and
for your
tomorrow
feedback.
we're gonna play the game.
Tomorrow there's gonna be a bigger stream. So Phoenix Falcon asks that, is there any chance of decoupling master skills from some parts of the tree? As is, the sniper training tree forces you to take points that may be completely useless for your build to get the skill. Is this a design limitation? Yes, I think that this is as per design, and I'm gonna try explaining to you why. Although the game designers might disagree with me, but that's just me. So let's assume that you start a fresh character, and you have your basic skills. Let me just go over to the game. So you have your basic skill trees unlocked, like these 4 skill trees right here. And obviously, I would want to max out these first, because these give me flat out damage bonuses, you know. So I go through the skill, I gain my levels, I complete the skill tree. I now have, like, say 30% bonus range damage. Then I max out the other stuff too, as I feel how it's useful. And now I see skill tree, I don't know, let's say it's this one, and it's not quite useful for me, but the end skill of it is freaking awesome. I want that. So we want players, you know, to feel like, oh my god, that's so cool, and I'm just gonna go grind it out, because you know, I need that final end skill. and I'm gonna go unlock the heroic deed. I'm gonna go do the cheating death heroic deed. I'm gonna unlock the skill tree, and I'm gonna gain my bonuses in order to get that final piece of the puzzle. So I think this is basically why we want to put bonuses at the end of skill trees that are useful for all classes.
Yeah, this is something we definitely wanted to try out, and the guys worked a lot about balancing the skill tree in a way that it would make sense.
Yeah.
But we are still listening to your feedback, and we still want to know how you feel about it, because even though a lot of us here played the game and a lot of us felt it that it feels good this way, we still need your feedback, because there are thousands and thousands of you who will play the game and who will give us the final answer on that.
And
one.
This is just
and
the first version. This is just the first version of the new skill tree, so you know, this is just a guideline of how we feel it should be going, and you know, you guys will tell us basically how to do it for real.
Can't wait to see like overgeared, overpowered players doing new builds. I think last time we played PvP, there were like guys with crazy builds already with the previous skill tree, and that was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, you know,
people figuring stuff out.
The builds. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, and
please stop the drop of inoculator. They make the supply box useless.
How will the system requirements be? You can check it out on our shop page, for which you can find the link below the Twitch stream, but basically neocoregames.com. You won't need an atomic power plant to run the game, but you know, something from this decade.
Think about that. The game will come out on consoles in the future, and consoles specs aren't really. I don't know how to say, like.
All right. Let's just forget what he said. Basically, the hardware requirements that you see listed on our website are not final ones. They're gonna get a lot more friendly, because we are still in an alpha state and optimization is underway.
Yeah.
So you will see some changes that are gonna get a lot friendlier. Yeah. But because of the level of detail that we have in the game, if you want to play the game in 4K, you're still gonna need a hell of a beast of a PC.
Yeah.
So, but we make sure that you will be able to play it on a mid-level.
In fact, yesterday's update is containing a small optimization fix as well. There was a major one a couple weeks back. Is this update live? Can I play it if I back the founding? Yes, of course. So if you buy the game now, you can play this update. You get a Steam key. It's like any other game, except you have to buy it from our store.
You will get the new patches, of course, and the final game.
Because we are not released yet on Steam, because we are in the founding campaign. You can only buy it from our store, but the code you get is a Steam key, then it behaves like any other Steam game. Mm-hmm. So yeah. And let's move on to the next item of...
sorry, there was a question that was very interesting. I'm sorry, I can't see the name from there.
Anything we learned from Van Helsing?
Yeah, Darkflick asked, anything you learned from the Van Helsing death threat that you are doing different in Warhammer? Actually, a lot of things.
Everything.
A lot of things. Everything we know about the ARPG genre in general, we learned by creating the Van Helsing trilogy, and we loved it. We loved the Van Helsing trilogy, but Warhammer is basically the obvious evolution of ARPGs. 40k Inquisitor Martyr is basically an ARPG that has never been done before in a general way, but we've learned a lot of things during the development of the Van Helsing trilogy that we are implementing and further developing in Inquisitor Martyr. So it was an invaluable experience for us.
Let's take just a portion of the game. Let's just take a look at the graphics engine, because we use our own game engine, which is Cortec engine. I think it's Cortec 3, but in reality, 4. And in reality, it's like the 10th iteration of the engine, because the first Cortec engine was made in 2008 or something for Crusaders, not for King Arthur.
That's 2007, isn't it? Yeah, it was 2007.
And so that's when the first iteration of the game engine was developed, and ever since we are continuously improving it. So there are basically whole remakes of the engine for each of our games, and the evolution is clearly visible, I think.
Yeah.
So, it clearly is.
For example, Warhammer has features that are simply impossible to do in Van Helsing.
Yeah.
Destructible environment.
Yeah, for example, the destroyable environment is pretty amazing, and one of the main features of Warhammer in my eyes, because
I found it gives you the feeling that you're actually participating in a war, that everything that crumbles just, all around you,
just destroying the environment. I mean, I remember when what was it, Red Faction came out. I think it was the first game ever that contained this feature. It was like 2001 to something
like that.
It was an FPS, and even in that game you could only destroy the environment in special places of the map, so there was a big axe on the wall that you can shoot through. But I felt like, oh my god, this is next level. and in an ARPG, I think that's pretty amazing as well. And in Warhammer, you can basically fuck up everything, so you can destroy the entire level to your taste, and it's
also it damages the enemies.
Yeah, and you can, for example, shoot a pillar and it crumbles on top of the enemies who are taking cover behind it. And you can use this to your advantage, but of course you have to be on alert as well, because the enemies do the same to you.
Yeah.
So that's I just cool whenever feature. I play the game, I can't get over that feature. Anyways, let's move on to the next item in the content patch, because this is quite a hefty one. So let's take the map changes, for example, because the maps and the missions received tremendous updates as well. First of all, let's stick with the visuals, I think.
Yeah, this is my favorite one, actually. Yeah.
So as you can see, there are a couple new weather settings, 6, I think. So there's dark night, and there's rain and fog available now. So basically, it's randomly rolled whenever you start a mission. You can start in a night mission, you can start in fog, and
missions won't be that repetitive as like previous ones, for example. And pretty cool feature, but it's not the only new thing for maps, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely not. So
also something else, like infested maps.
Oh yeah. Right? There's a whole new subsetting. We promised this in our previous stream, and basically we have 3 map settings available now: the floating platform, the rocky terrain, and the standard Imperial indoors.
Yeah.
And these will have variations in the future. And the first one just saw the light of day, which is the Nurgle infested version of the Imperial indoors setting. Yeah. Let me just show you that. I think it's this one, yeah. So this is the basic one, the standard Imperial indoors, and this is the same room in the Nurgle infested version. So I think the difference speaks for itself. It's pretty amazing, and we are planning to make like 3-4 variations of each map setting similar to this. So there will be, I think, a war-torn version with bodies strewn across the floor, and so on.
Yeah. Also, it's new map types coming too in future patches, so it won't be just these 3, but other ones as well.
Yeah, and it will be a pretty big deal in my eyes, because visuals are undoubtedly very important in this game, and these new weather settings look pretty amazing in my eyes. And of course, not just fancied up the whole game, but we put some interesting new stuff into the missions, because we introduced basically side quests to missions and
that was a pretty cool thing I saw. I haven't known about this update, so that was kind of like a wow thing for me this morning to see that you have like smaller quests within a mission.
Yeah,
like save something, save a group of people, for example, or
I think there's like 8 new scripts that you can randomly encounter during your missions, and there's a couple simple ones, where turrets spawn behind you, in front of you, or different kinds of enemies spawn in a multitude of ways. Yeah. But there are a couple complex ones, and one of them is there's a group of allies, friendly NPCs fighting against some enemies, and the side quest appears that you have to save them, for example, or there's a demonic summoning ritual going on and you have to interrupt it. And a bunch of really cool maps.
Yeah, these are pretty cool.
What I really like is that it gives a little more variety to the whole game in general.
Totally, yeah.
Because variety is something that we are really proud of. That you basically can, but in a lot of hours of gameplay, you can only encounter the same map twice, or the very same experience twice.
Yeah, and of course, my favorite side quest, so to say, is the one named Assault, I think, which is there's a big radio tower, and you have to take it with a group of friendly NPCs. So you,
all right.
Along the way, you meet some people, and they join you, and you have to take like an objective. And meanwhile, ion cannons fire you from above. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah, I think it's the last one in the
I encountered one of that and a few hours ago, and yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, you can see the ion cannon in action. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And of course, this first one is just a basic shrine side quest. So you can activate shrines on the map. And if you activate all of them, I think all the enemies lose a chunk of their HP. So your
really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think there's 3 on these maps, so 3 shrines, but the number can vary. Yeah, I remember you, Dark Flick. You won the Death Rap map making contest a while back. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He was the one.
No, I loved doing maps in Death Trap. Actually, now you can do it on Xbox One as well, because we released an update.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And not just on PC. What did we guys miss? We haven't talked about the itemization, have we?
Oh no, itemization is well, we mentioned that items now
relic
have
items.
level requirements.
Yep.
Yeah. And
That's a very important thing.
What's the color of the relic items? Is it white? Maybe?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Okay.
I'm still level 1, so.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've seen like 3 concepts, and I don't know which one won at the end.
I'm not sure that they are called relic items even, because I mean that's the last version.
That's the last version. They should be called relic items because that's
yeah,
that's what we agreed on.
Whoever of you guys, if you own the game, whoever gets their first relic item, tweet us, Facebook us, whatever, because we will give out some kind of reward for that guy, because that requires some dedication even in this early stage of the game. So farm on, guys.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, if you I'm just seeing little chatter in the chat that if you have any issues with the game or you have feedback that you think that might be valuable, you can join us in Discord, and one of us is always online there, so we're listening there.
Yeah, feel free
and
to
you can go to our community hub, which has a forum, and you can start your own topic, and our community guys are there 24/7. So they will see your topic and they will answer your questions.
That's right.
Crafting inoculators would be great. Well, you can do just that, I think, already.
Yeah, pretty sure I can.
Because not only
sure
can you okay, let me just go back to the command bridge. So yeah, you can craft stuff in the game. So there's crafting already. Let me just so yeah, this is the crafting interface. Let's see crafting, and you can see there's a huge list here. You can craft an inoculator from various materials. You can salvage from your items.
Yeah, it's down on the bottom.
Yep, and after that, when you have an inoculator, you can customize it. This is my inoculator, and you see that I have 2 slots, and I can choose whatever I want. You know, for example, restore 10% max HP or 50% max suppression, whatever slots you have.
I always go for the HP.
Yeah, the best inoculators have 4 slots, so you can bump that up, and yeah, you can craft your inoculator. So I think that feature was introduced in the last content.
Maybe he meant that you should give him one to his account, a blueprint.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what he wants.
Blueprints are hard to form sometimes. I agree, but how many mark variants of each blueprint item are there? Off the top of my head, I think 4, but there are exceptions. So yeah. And
should be around there. I suppose.
Yeah, I think 4, but there are some of them have 5, some of them have 3. I'm not sure entirely. But back to itemization, I think the biggest change of the game is not the new item tier events, not relic items, but not Yeah, I think the most important stuff is the bunch of new enchants that we have just added to the game. I listed a couple in the changelog, but in reality there's like 100 new enchants or item properties in the game that can be rolled. So, you know, like a bonus damage or plus area damage or inoculator charges on kill or whatever. So around 100 of these were added yesterday. And not only these were added, but the way these are rolled was changed as well. For example, your item tier makes a difference. So for example, the worst quality items, the crap items, the yellow items, won't be able to receive a powerful enchant that easily as a purple item, for example. So if you get dropped a purple item, it will have a much higher chance to contain awesome enchants that will make you cry tears of joy. So I think that's a very important change, because that makes people want to farm more items. I don't know, there's a couple of enchants listed in the changelog.
Yeah, people want to use their yellow items even if they find a purple one, because the purple one will have much better enchants.
I think, for example, there's one that resets your inoculator cooldown when you kill something or enough.
Bonus suppression per kill, bonus suppression per
and
hit,
those are pretty
bonus
amazing.
HP regen in cover, bonus suppression regen in cover, resist all.
Yeah, all resist is pretty powerful. I think we have to tone it down, in fact.
I mean, just to say, I never had it, but resist all. I mean, it sounds fucking OP.
Yeah, and so that's, I think, very important.
Yeah,
and I left out I think we all made a huge mistake because we left out the fan favorite. Everyone has been asking for it. The pistol sword and pistol shield and the pistol sword combo.
Yeah, the mix and match. The mix and match is
so
finally in.
So the mixed weapon sets are back in. We finally made the animations for them. We had to take them out for a while, but you know, everyone has been asking for it, and now it's back. So you can now wield those fancy combos.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, and I wanted that too.
Balancing those are super hard, so it's something that's in the progress, but you cannot use them already. You can imagine, because for example, if you have a shield in one hand and a pistol in the other, you won't be able to deal as much damage as with a two-handed cannon or a heavy bolter or something.
Right.
But if we would buff the pistol, the one-handed pistol, to be more powerful, then you would be able to equip two pistols and be twice as powerful. So, you know, it's a hard task. But yeah, it's already in, and it's quite amazing how it looks and feels. Defending with one hand and pew pew with the other. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Somebody's asking, are you allowed to let slip any forthcoming info on the Psyker and or the retinues?
I got a little heart attack because the update was released yesterday at like 10:30 p.m. and some guys could create a Psyker class in the game.
Say what?
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, we accidentally released the Psyker class, and we did actually, but it went away after like 10 minutes or something, and so it was like, okay, no more spoilers.
Don't worry, Psyker is not in the game just yet. I mean, I'm sure you're not worried about that one. And
it will take a little while.
Yeah, it will take a little while. For now, we can't actually share any information about the Psyker or the retinues, but the info is coming, and it's actually coming very soon.
Yeah.
It's actually coming very soon.
Gamescom something.
Gamescom something. Something like that.
Maybe you should tune into our Gamescom newsfeed and...
Yep. We're gonna be tweeting out, and actually everything, all of our Gamescom presence will be available online as well. So don't worry if you won't be able to come to Cologne and see us. A lot of journalists are coming and seeing our game, and they will be writing about us. And also we're gonna be releasing material as well, just in case you want to check it out on our
a couple of behind the scenes shots maybe.
No, we're not doing behind the scenes because that's usually behind the scenes for a reason.
Behind the scenes. Only of David.
Not gonna happen. No. So hang in there. Infos are coming, and believe me, I feel you, brother, because I want a Psyker as well. Psyker is gonna be my main class, that's for sure.
It's gonna be amazing, yeah.
Yeah, I love my Crusader. I love my Crusader because he was a badass until Mega killed it. But
it wasn't me, man.
It was kind of you. I mean, you threatened to kill it.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
I remember, yeah.
he actually made the GIF of hovering his cursor over deleting my character. So it was.
Yeah, because I got access to the database, you know. Because on the forums, you know, many people ask support for various things, you know, give back some items that were lost in the warp or something. And I always nag the developers to do that, and so they gave me access so I can do it myself. And you know, I was like, infinite power, I must give everyone.
If there's anybody here at Neocore who shouldn't have this much power, it's probably Mega.
Right.
It's probably Mega. I'm not even talking to him anymore because I don't want to. I don't want to piss him off.
Yeah, piss me off, you lose your epics, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes.
Can I stream the game, or is it under NDA? Asks Daniel Lordy.
Feel free to stream the game as much as you want, man. There is no NDA on it. Yeah. The game is already better than the majority of games I've played so far this year. Thank you so much. Thanks, I'm very glad to hear that. And it's getting better. I mean, I can't wait for the August update. Yeah. The August update gonna change a lot of things.
Yeah, but let's not rush forward.
Let's not rush forward. Yeah. Let's be happy about the July update.
Yeah, the content patch got released yesterday, man.
If you mention the August update, the guys of the couriers from the next stream gonna come over here and kill us. Yeah. Because they're still working on the July updates.
They're like this, you know, no sleep.
Yeah, they haven't slept for a while. Yeah. There's one more thing we wanted to talk to you about. It is very important that you join us tomorrow as well from 6 p.m. CET tomorrow, because we have a very important announcement to make. Also, that might give away what we want to announce, that Schools for the School Throne has been released.
Oh yeah.
If you go on Steam, I know most of you are huge Warhammer fans, and you might be happy to hear that on Steam there is an all-weekend sale on Warhammer games thanks to Games Workshop, Schools for the School Throne initiative, or it's just a sale, I suppose. And there's gonna be Twitch streams as well. Right now, I think the Fat Shark guys are streaming.
Yeah, Vermintide.
Yeah, Vermintide is pretty cool, so check that out as well. And tomorrow we're gonna be playing the game, the two of us, Greg and I, and we're gonna have a special guest with us too. We're gonna be talking about the story and the campaign of the game. Ooh. So it's gonna be an interesting stream. It's gonna be
sure to cool. Follow our Twitch channel, because you will get a notification that way. But basically, we're gonna start around the same time, like half an hour earlier than today, and it's gonna be a longer stream, more hefty stream with some gameplay action. So be sure to tune in, guys. And I think there's gonna be some giveaways as well.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Totally.
Absolutely. I do want to give away a couple of games. Yeah. I love giving away games.
Yeah, giving
other Neocore games.
Yeah, obviously.
Like Van Helsing, Death Trap, and stuff. We usually give away those. But there will be occasions in the future where we will give away Warhammer, but you know, don't count on that for a while. Yeah. It's still exclusively available from our store.
Guys, I think that's pretty much what we have today.
Yeah, that was our
Do you guys anything to
update regarding the patch? I think.
Oh yeah,
I think
there's custom points of interest as well in this in this update. I almost forgot.
Oh shit, Megapore. I mean, seriously,
you can.
You should have said something very uplifting.
I mean, sometimes you can find space stations now in the game with NPCs done. Who sell rare recipes or give you more side quests. So and
you sound like Horst from TV Shop.
Yeah, just if you call now, you get 3. it's amazing.
So guys, thank you so much for your feedback. You're helping a lot to make this dream come true. So thank you so much again. And hopefully we see a lot of you tomorrow as well. When we're gonna play the game, we're gonna give away a couple of Neocore games. So join us tomorrow, 6 p.m. CET. Thank you so much for being with us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.